Hi, welcome to VYAPT Growth Series Season 2, Episode 22. And in our growth series today, we have with us Mr. Amit Chadah, CEO of Nectar Lifesciences Limited. Hi, Amit. Welcome to
Hi.
VYAPT Growth Series.
Thank you very much for having me here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Amit. Continuing with our discussion, primarily from the pharmaceutical segment, where you had a very specific kind of a company here in India. Can you talk about the growth prospects of the industry and what are the current challenges? We call our questions as curiosity, so this being the first curiosity to you.
Of course. First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity to come on your channel and talk about my industry, which is pharmaceutical. And as you know, that Indian pharmaceutical industry is a success story. Like in 1970s, we were a kind of a no existent industry. Like we were very small, we were in nascent stage, and we were not known globally. And we were barely able to manage our own requirement of pharmaceutical. From 1970 to 2022, where we are Indian pharmaceutical, very proudly I'm associated with that, and very proudly I may say that we are catering to something like 50% of the global generic requirements. We are not only producing for ourselves, we are also producing for the world. And a very great example have been vaccine production, where we were able to scale up the vaccine production for COVID-19 and not only take care of giving injection to 200 million people of our own country, but globally we have supplied. So today we have almost done close to 100% vaccination of COVID-19. So I am part of this industry. Coming to normal pharmaceutical industry, what we are doing apart from vaccine, which is wonderful job we have done. We are Indian pharmaceutical industry is probably the third largest in terms of volume, and we are around 13th or 14th in terms of value. So because that is the beauty of our industry, that imagine we are producing third of the volumes of the world, but we are charging very less for that. That's where our number of volume is very high and value is very low. So we are a low cost, high quality, and high compliant industry, which is catering to regulated market like US, Europe, Japan, or any regulated market, and also supplying to the non-regulated market or very poor countries the same kind of quality and same kind of efficacy of product, which is helping the patients around. So annually, if we look at compounded annual growth rate of Indian pharmaceutical industry, we are growing. Our CAGR is around 15% for on average for last 5 years, and so that's to talk about. We have employed more than millions of people. We are employing all kind of people, scientists, commercials, manufacturing, chemical engineer, mechanical engineers, and even doctors for our medical services. So all those kind of it is a sunrise sector for India. And just to add I was going through one of the data and I realized that
Mhm.
around 60 to 70% of purchases of pharmaceutical by UN, India is a supplier because of the high quality and the lowest prices. So that's about pharma industry. And in pharma industry, there are multiple segments. One is API, which we manufacture raw material. Then there is the finished dosage form. Then there are excipients. Then there are diagnostic. Then there are surgical. So primarily, when we talk about pharmaceutical industry, we will be talking about APIs and finished dosage form or formulations. Anything else you would like to know about
Yes,
pharma?
definitely, Amit. You talked about beautifully about the entire industry, and you also talked about how great we are in terms of volumes. But value is one certain things which we need to probably we need to come up with, because third in volume and 13th in value. Do you think or any suggestions probably which we have in mind or you have in mind, that how can we increase our value for that matter, because we are obviously, you said about we are quality conscious, uh, and all.
No, Pankaj, India is known as the pharmacy of the world.
True,
Pharmacy, like what we call chemist shops here, but
true.
globally that exact term is pharmacy, where you go and get a medicine against a prescription or whenever you need it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we are a pharmacy of the world. So that
Mm-hmm.
means any country in the world can come to India and source their medicine requirement from us. At
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
time, we cannot be focused only on the value.
Okay.
Like there are rich countries, there are developed countries who can afford because they have a systems of insurance or whatever their per capita income is higher, they can afford value added this thing. We, as coming back to your question, we have to take care of our own population, which is
True.
we are 1.3 billion people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So 1.3 billion people, everybody cannot afford high cost of medicine. So we
True.
need to be sensitive about that. We need to
Mm-hmm.
be sensitive about all the countries around us. At the
Mm-hmm.
same time, to increase value for generics, I think we are doing a wonderful job, and that will continue probably for many more years to come. But yes,
Mm-hmm.
to increase the value, I think same product with improved quality will not warrant primarily a requirement to increase the pricing, because we will
True.
also be doing, increasing our efficiencies and reducing the wastage, where we will be able to take care of the extra cost which is going to come with the extra quality. Although our
Mm-hmm.
quality is gold standard, India is probably producing the best of the medicines
Mm-hmm.
around the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think with innovation product coming in, that will
Mm-hmm.
create more value, for which Indian industry and government is very much focused on new molecule research, which is
Mm-hmm.
which is happening. Earlier we were more on the reverse engineering of pharmaceutical, but now we are going toward innovation. So I think we will add on the value also. But as of now, I think we are quite okay in terms of this thing, because we are probably number three in the volumes and number 13 in the value, but
Mm-hmm.
still Indian pharmaceutical is not losing money. So overall, on a trot, we are okay. We may not be making fancy profits. Indian pharmaceutical industry is not making fancy profit, but it's
Mm-hmm.
okay. We are also not in a bad shape in terms of commercials.
That's a really good example of serving the society, Amit. But you also were very bullish about the kind of innovation happening in this pharmaceutical, and that's where my second curiosity comes in. That what are the innovation coming in this particular industry? Maybe since you're from the API segment, you can talk around it. And how are we working towards making a sustainable future? We understand, it's one of the industry where a lot of manpower is also required, and we are giving employment to direct or indirect a lot of manpower. So can you throw some light on this part as well?
Yeah, Pankaj, let's look at totality. In totality, there were a lot of things which we were thinking that will go digital. Like at one time in, scientific fiction movies, we used to see that there will be no need of travel. People will be talking on video. They will have open a computer, and then you will see somebody sitting in front of it, and there is uh, corresponding things happening. But with COVID coming in, that actually up to 70% that happened. Today we are talking like you and me, we are talking online, and it is pretty as good as having a personal meeting. So,
True.
so technology is coming up, innovation is coming up in pharmaceutical also, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we are looking at artificial intelligence coming in. We are looking at flexible production coming in, like
Mm-hmm.
because of the technology invent, because of innovation, because of agility of Indian pharma industry, we are able to change the production products, like in vaccine, the companies which were manufacturing vaccines for other things, they were able to very fast convert and change and add on to produce the COVID vaccine, which was the need of hour. And similarly, a lot of curative therapies are coming in, like we are talking about digital therapies, where digital what you call consultations by doctor have already started. So we are moving toward that one step ahead in terms of manufacturing, where digital therapies are happening, cognitive therapies are happening, stem cell therapies are coming in, genes therapy is coming in. Now we are trying as a pharma industry to look at those frontiers where you can structure and play with the gene so that a particular disease is taken care of. So all those things are coming. And then in terms of innovation, we are also looking at something like continuous processing to give us better cost advantage and the higher quality of product, particularly that is for API. So and also in pharmaceutical industry, please understand, quality is the paramount because this is the medicine which is going to go inside the human being and which is going to cure the disease. So the compliances and the quality is the biggest factor. All in any industry, quality is paramount. But in
Mhm.
pharmaceutical, it is the only thing we play with. The
Mhm.
quality and we have all the terms like quality by design. Like you think about quality and then create that quality and deliver that quality consistently day after day. And so automation processes are happening in a big way.
Mhm.
Digitalization of compliances and quality systems is happening in a
Mhm.
big way that will help us. So all these innovation coming in, and then the new molecule research, finding cure for the difficult disease that is going on. That is a traditional thing which is happening for many years. But there also in R&D also you have what you call AI coming in, artificial intelligence coming in, trying to figure out which molecule can be created like how. So a lot of innovation coming in, but yes, it is expensive, it is time consuming, but
Mhm.
we will see pharmaceutical industry at the forefront of innovation, apart from other fields like IT or aerospace or automations.
That makes a lot of sense to us, Amit. You rightly talked about the kind of innovation happening across various fields within the sector, and the kind of medicine is getting produced, and it's helping the worldwide people.
Yeah.
Uh, Now, before moving to the next question, I also talked about the sustainability part of it. Although pharmaceutical industry is not a very polluting kind of an industry, we understand that part. But coming to the point wherein our prime minister had talked about that we would be a net zero carbon emission country by 2070, do you think that there are enough steps or certain steps are being taken by the pharmaceutical industry so that we can move towards net zero kind of a future?
Yeah, of course. I think what Prime Minister of India has very rightly pointed out, that our responsibility is not only to create business and trade, but also to take care of our planet and be more sustainable and add on to betterment of the whole planet. And I think India is taking a big lead. Probably, if you ask me, I'm very excited about the whole concept. I
Mm-hmm.
think India is going to take a major lead in green energy. So
Mm-hmm.
that is going to drive our growth. So
Mm-hmm.
I am very sure about it because government is making right moves. They are giving a very conducive environment. And coming to pharmaceutical industry, we are not very polluting. In API, there is a kind of ETPs and required. Since pharmaceutical industry, I can very proudly tell you that we
Mm-hmm.
are very regulated kind of industry because we are producing medicines for the human being consumption or animal consumption. And these are regulated by various authorities, whether it is the drug control department, whether it is compliances, whether it is quality, whether it is GMP, good manufacturing practices. So all that, continuously being assessed by customers, by government authorities, and you have to follow those protocols. Otherwise, you will not be able to produce or sell.
True.
So there is a proper ETP systems in most of the countries, and there is also what we have realized all over the world, and particularly in India.
Mm-hmm.
that we are at the forefront of making sure that we are all, I think mostly in India, companies are focusing towards zero liquid discharge,
Mm-hmm.
non-polluting segment. And
Mm-hmm.
also, lot of companies have now gone on for greener technology. Like in our case, we have a biofuel-based power plant. So we produce
Mm-hmm.
our own power and steam from biofuel. So we are not polluting. In fact, we are carbon negative when we get, uh, benefit in terms of using a green technology.
Sure.
That impacts my cost, that impacts the environment in a positive way, and we are very happy and proud that we are contributing to the goal of the country, and also making sure that all area around us is in a good thing, and we are caring for our planet, and we are definitely on ZLD and other aspects, like I said, using biofuel to produce power to run our plant. So pharmaceutical industry is quite sensitive towards these things, and they are, I think, one of the most compliant industry in terms of taking care of these matters.
That's wonderful, Amit. You talked about the kind of initiatives the pharmaceutical industry is taking to become a to have a sustainable future and to work according to the goals of the UN and the Prime Minister of our country. Moving from the business talks, we would now like to talk around the rapid fire questions. So we'll have 10 different questions put to you, and you can have a maximum of a second or two to answer those questions. You can answer in a word or maximum of a sentence. So you'll have 10 questions.
Okay, let's go for it.
Just after this break. Just okay, so here we are. So we'll start with my first question to you. Are you a coffee or a tea person?
I'm a tea person. I'm a typical Indian. I like tea. That too, masala tea, masala chai.
Okay. If you could travel the world for free, let's say, if at all it happens, where would you go first?
Yeah, I have actually done that, so it is easy for me to answer this one. Whenever the first opportunity, I was very impressed with Mahatma Gandhi, so I actually did that. So I went to Sabarmati Ashram when first time I was able to travel on my
Mhm.
dad's money, which was free for me at that time. So that was it was very good thing for me.
So that country would be India itself. You would be going to Sabarmati Ashram once again.
Because, right from our childhood, we were reading about Mahatma Gandhi and what
True.
kind of impact. And when I started traveling internationally, so
Hmm.
I realized that Mahatma Gandhi was a name synonymous for non-violence, and people really respected India for that. So,
True.
and he was the guy who created a new way of
Hmm.
fighting without arms. So I think that was very inspirational, and so I always wanted to see how he lived, what he did in his routine. So somebody told me that you can go to Sabarmati Ashram, and then I did that.
Rightly said. We all are very influenced by Mahatma Gandhi. My third question to you: what is your most used emoji?
Namaste emoji. That's what I use mostly.
The fourth one: who is your inspiration and why? One person.
Mother Teresa, and
Okay.
and she's this thing, and in business, I think it will be Steve Jobs, because I feel that he was the par excellent marketeer, and I have a commercial background, so I feel Steve Jobs, amazing business leader. And in terms of person, if I have to choose one, that will be Mother Teresa.
Next question would talk about you. What are the three adjectives that describe you?
Difficult. I have many. In fact, I can use 10, 20, but I think I am a critical problem solver. That is one. I am creative, and I like to work independently. So independent, creative, and problem solver. So these will be three. Then there can be many more, but okay.
Okay, the next one is, what is the one thing you are excited about next year? I mean,
For next year, I think I am excited about more about opening of the economies and travel without hindrances and restrictions because COVID had really created an havoc. So
mhm.
I will say that opening up, feeling that freedom again that you can travel without restriction, without and people are there to meet you. Because we have also seen the situation where I was willing to travel, but the other guy was not willing to come and meet. So so that's what.
The obviously, this is something which we all are excited about. The next question for me, a moment when you felt extremely happiness. I'm sure you must be having many, but one moment of the many.
I think when I was blessed with my daughter, so when she was born, so that was amazing happiness, and so I have never experienced anything like that. So when we were expecting our child, so I
Mhm.
always used to pray that I should get a daughter because we are three brothers. So we were like I always felt that I should have a daughter, and I got her. So that was amazing
So
thing.
your prayers were accepted.
Oh yeah.
Now, since you're a marketing guy, you said that you have been a commercial and marketing guy. Now the next question, favorite marketing commercial ever.
Amul. Their taglines, their punchlines are amazing. And every day, on the newspaper or if you are in that area, Gujarat, Bombay, you see that hoardings.
Mhm.
Amul. I think nobody has done marketing campaign like Amul. Amazing.
The next question, your favorite go-to snack.
My favorite go-to snack is now because of I'm becoming health conscious. It is bhel puri, but earlier it was samosa.
And the last one, your favorite sport.
My favorite sports.
Hmm.
We all Indians like only one sports, that is cricket. But apart from cricket, I also like kabaddi, particularly when the pro kabaddi started. So that I see the power of media and marketing again. Amazing thing they have done with the kabaddi. Otherwise, nobody would have thought about it. So cricket obviously will take the cake, but pro kabaddi also.
So these were some of the straight answers from you. 10 on 10 to you, Amit. You have been very specific to answer this question. But we move on to our next
You
curiosity,
are
which is
not giving any hamper for this.
about definitely we would be. Uh, but before that, we have the last question to you. Is about most of us are very curious to know about you as a leader, because leadership is something which everybody practice, irrespective of the designation which we are. But coming from a point, wherein you have taken different steps, across your career and moved on to the CEO of this particular company, wherein you have served for quite some time now in this company. Can you talk about memorable lessons, maybe from your colleagues, peers, parents, family members or seniors, which has shaped your personality, and which has given you more authentic ways of thinking to deliver what you can deliver the best? So can you talk and put some light around it, please?
Yeah. If I start from the beginning, from my father, I learned two things. One is never accept a no, because no is not permanent. So if somebody tells you yes, it is a permanent thing. If somebody tells you no, it is not a permanent thing because he can change. Somebody said yes, will not change. So that was the most valuable lesson I learned when I started my career, and that helped me. Second is he always used to tell me that always have an aspirational goal with you, whatever you are doing. If you achieve goal one, then have another aspirational goal too. So that was, and third, he told me was that accept failures. If you will have no failures, you will not be successful. You must have failure in your life if you want to be successful, and that will make you better. And from my working, from my mentors or my colleagues, I learned a lot of things. I learned that instead of focusing on other things of the person who is working with you or in front of you, you should focus on the performance. You should not focus on who is he, how he behaves, what he does, what kind of pedigree he is coming from, what kind of education he has. Focus on the performance. That should be the main criteria that will make companies run and perform better. Apart from that, always be empathetic, understand other person by getting into their shoes. That will help you to get the best out of that person.
Mhm.
And a few more things like I believe that one must be very kind when you are at a leadership situation. Your kindness should flow. Your motivate, and you should be self motivated. People should, because people will come and look at you and say that they are looking for motivation from you. So who are you going to look at? So you should be self motivated. And and my way of working in any position is I always work like a band of brothers as a friend. So I always tell my colleagues I am a boss because that is a hierarchy which is defined by the company, because for certain job you need certain kind of approvals or methods or systems. So I am authorized to do few things, but we are all working together for a common goal. That is the progress of the company, or creating value for the company, or making the company as one of the best or premier. And we all are together in this. So today, I always give them an example that it's like a boat, and so one guy is leading the boat, and he feels that I am at number one position and others are at the back putting pressure, and he's giving direction. Let's say all the guys turn around and start rowing on the other side, and this guy will become the last. So I always say that we are together. So today I am at this position, tomorrow I may be at the last, but everybody have to drive the boat. So
True.
that's the kind of thing. And the most valuable lesson which I have learned from my own experience is that no one knows everything. So you will know something, I will know something, and the best way is to share the knowledge. Talk to people, share knowledge, learn from them. That is how you will create a big knowledge base in the organization and with the people, and that is a big motivation factor. When people are learning, when people are learning in a college, they don't want to leave the college. They will leave only when college will say, okay, go now, degree is over. Otherwise, they will never go, right? So that makes organization strong. So always keep on sharing knowledge, have interaction with people. So that's what most of the things I do in terms of day-to-day leadership point.
So, Amit, you talked about that the purpose is more important than anything. Purpose drives every organizations, and together we can win. And every person is equally important in terms of whatever he does. If he or she does it really well for the organization.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this. It was some of the beautiful wisdom and knowledge from your side, which educated us all. And I'm sure our viewers must have definitely added some value and some knowledge around it. Thank you so much, Amit, for sharing your time with us. And it was lovely speaking with you.
Thank you, Pankaj. I really appreciate because I'm not. I am actually not very active on social media. I'm guy who is more focused on work and performance. But you have taken me out from my slumber and brought me here. Good experience. Thank you very much, and I appreciate. And keep up the good work. And thank you very much. So again,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amit. Thank
Thank
you.
you.